When Like a Dragon 8 revealed its title as Infinite Wealth, a lot of people were asking what it means. Does it stand for a future Yakuza party game featuring Akiyama? Is it about the money Sega made with their questionable DLC practices? Or maybe it's the cliche that the real Infinite Wealth is the friends that we made along the way. Now, the story didn't define what Infinite Wealth really is, and it was left as an abstract for players to come up with their own definition. However, there's actually a real meaning behind Infinite Wealth. Before that though, I know I joke about a Yakuza party game, but honestly, I think that would be fun. If you also think that a Yakuza party game sounds great, then like this video and join Otaku Define for more Like a Dragon content. So, Infinite Wealth. In all seriousness, there are a lot of interpretations that can be made here. First, let's define why RGG Studio chose this name for Like a Dragon 8. The lemniscate, that's the infinite design as my fellow members in the Math Club would often say, is a popular symbol here in Asia. In the most simple way, RGG Studio chose the title Infinite Wealth because it sounds cool. Plus, since this is the 8th numbered series in the Yakuza franchise, a vertical infinity symbol looks like an 8, thus the design for its logo. Well duh, and it sounds like an obvious thing. But RGG Studio managed to write a story that defines what Infinite Wealth really is. Aside from infinity looking cool, in Asian culture, infinity is often associated with philosophical and spiritual significance. Infinity has a deep-rooted belief that emphasizes interconnectedness. That is the state of being linked with each other. Holy whale, so it's really just the cliche of infinite wealth being the friends that we made along the way. Yes, but on a grander scale. Even when RGG Studio first revealed Like a Dragon 8, they used the infinity symbol to connect both Kiryu and Ichiban. The story of Infinite Wealth is the relationship among Ichigan as well as connecting to someone who has been fighting all of his battles alone for the past 7 games. Kiryu Kazuma built a legacy where his strength has shouldered every burden that came along his life. A dragon among men, whose back never showed running away from a challenge. While Ichiban, even in Yakuza Like a Dragon, showcased how different his approach is, and that is by relying on others that he had trusted along his journey. Infinite Wealth is about Ichiban teaching Kiryu the importance of trusting your friends. This design isn't about making Kiryu and Ichiban look cool with the lemniscate swirling around. It details how Ichiban is reaching out and connecting with Kiryu. And in Infinite Wealth, we did see Kiryu learn the importance of relying on others. See, in the first half of the story, Kiryu is so stubborn that he was willing to die from cancer just to complete his mission and save Lani at all costs, often dismissing Ichiban and Hawaiian Nanba's concern for him, not wanting to treat his cancer. But in the second half, we see him opening up more and start on relying on others. He even gained Ichiban's Ichiban's battle instincts. But that wasn't the only thing that Kiryu learned. Interconnectedness isn't just about relying on others. It's a philosophical concept that everything in this universe is connected and has meaning. The infinite wealth for Kiryu's story is heavily emphasized on the game's mechanic called Memoirs of a Dragon. Kiryu sees how his relationship with various people impacted their lives and how these people started doing better after meeting him. What I love most about this, aside from seeing old friends again from the past Yakuza games and how collectively different they are from each other, Kiryu didn't just establish bonds among his peers in the Yakuza world, but even a common man or a girl who needed courage. Kiryu as a person has been living an interconnected life before he even realized it. Kiryu in essence represents what infinite wealth means. We saw how he inspired others to protect what they love, influenced people to use their strength to help the weak, guiding others to honor and stand for their legacy, encouraging us to face whatever adversity may stand in our way. And at the end of it all, with Kiryu learning the true impact of his past, and how he changed the lives of these people, also understood what he now stands for as a person. Not just a legendary dragon roaring above the skies alone, but as a friend. a mentor, a hero, and better yet, a father. And that's another thing behind the true meaning of infinite wealth. Since the whole team of Like a Dragon 8, as RGG Studio has said many times, is about the past and future. And believe it or not, infinity also symbolizes that, since it represents the cyclical nature of life, how the past would always affect the future. Infinite Wealth's real meaning is about overcoming the past to have the power to face the future. Every character in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth went into this journey. In Kiryu's journey, we saw him surrendering himself to the grim knocks of death's door. But when he revisited his past and saw the meaning of his life, and how he wasn't just known as the Dragon of Dojima, but as a friend who inspired people, Kiryu gained the motivation to overcome his past demons and face whatever challenge the future holds. For Ichiban, it was his bloodline and Arakawa's wish. He wasn't ready to learn the truth as to whether or not he really is the biological son of Masumi Arakawa, especially fearing that he has disappointed him in fulfilling his wish. But all of that changed when he understood what Arakawa meant in giving each former Yakuza a new meaning in their life. Even if these former Yakuza are given a new job, their past will continue to haunt them. So it wasn't only the former Yakuza that needed help, but also the innocent people that got affected. Thus, Ichiban was now determined to see his late father's wish fulfilled, restarting with Eiji. Tomizawa, who has been drunk in revenge, and understandably so since the death of his stillborn child and his wife leaving him, drove him to a life of crime. But when he tried robbing Ichiban and Ichiban forgiving him almost immediately, Tomizawa learned that there is more to life than living in revenge. He managed to overcome his past by showing mercy and dominion over the Barracuda. Chitose, who let herself be controlled, afraid that she would lose everything, especially what her family held dear the most if she didn't obey Eiji. She eventually trusted Ichiban's words of running away and letting go. She then finally stood up against her puppeteer and faced her fears. Even in the case of Daigo, Majima, and Saejima, who almost failed to look beyond their past, letting the Tatara smear campaign on their security company get the best out of them. If it wasn't for Kiryu dragging them out of their hiding, then they would have not remembered to always face what stands in their way. We even saw how they are reminded of their past challenges in that beautiful fight against the tree. Infinite Wealth is about interconnectedness and how it taught all of these characters how to conquer their past and challenge the future. And this is why the villains in the story of Infinite Wealth failed, because they could not look beyond their past, and there was no one on their side to tell them that. Bryce being the false prophet of Palicana, which made him obsessed in hunting down Lonnie, the rightful heir, ended up with him being exposed and his black box being made public. Eiji's resentment against Yakuza for ruining his career, so he focused on demolishing the life of former Yakuza, which of course resulted in him destroying his life even further. Ebina's bloody revenge against the Yakuza, swearing for the death of Arakawa and his offspring, which ultimately failed, and Ichiban, his half-brother, did not even bother to fight him. Our past actions will continue to haunt us. Fears will cloud our judgment, leaving us with no sense of direction towards a brighter future. Infinite wealth may be taken in different ways, but the true meaning behind it is how we should look at our past and how we need to learn to trust others to help us face our future.
Bon voyage だぜ! Bon voyage! Bon voyage! Ichiban!
So yeah, I do love the title for Like a Dragon 8 being Infinite Wealth. Aside from it sounding cool, I mean, it does suit the Ichigan. But speaking of wealth, a lot of people seem to think that Chitose is inheriting a wealthy company. But that's just not the case. And that's the reason why her redemption arc is way better than we think. Check that video out. Like and subscribe to Otaku Define for more Like a Dragon content. This is Math, and stay awesome, my dudes.